What if the ground beneath your feet suddenly shook, or the sky above you turned dark with swirling winds? Imagine the sheer power of nature, capable of crafting and decimating landscapes in a blink. The Earth has a long history of dramatic and deadly events that have shaped it, and us, profoundly. From floods and fires to earthquakes and eruptions, these natural disasters have left indelible marks on our world. Today, we venture into the past, unearthing the earliest known natural disasters. Imagine the world 4.6 billion years ago, a fiery volcanic landscape. Our planet, in its infancy, was a sphere of chaos, a maelstrom of fire and fury. As the Earth cooled and solidified from a cloud of dust and gas, it was anything but peaceful. The first natural disasters as we understand them today were born from this tumultuous period. Picture volcanic eruptions of a scale unimaginable to us, their fiery veins etching the first contours of our world's face. The molten rock spilled from the Earth's core, spewing into the atmosphere and shaping the very ground beneath our feet. Yet, it wasn't just the fire that shaped our world. Massive earthquakes, the grinding and shifting of tectonic plates, played a pivotal role in crafting the Earth's crust. These quakes, far more potent than any we've experienced in human history, set the stage for the continents we know today. Imagine the ground beneath you, not as a solid, reliable entity, but a constantly moving, ever-changing landscape. The Earth's crust, during these formative years, was a jigsaw puzzle in motion, the pieces sliding and colliding, creating mountains and deep sea trenches in their wake. In the midst of this chaotic dance, life found a way to emerge. The very elements that caused destruction also laid the foundation for life. The volcanic eruptions released gases into the atmosphere, creating the perfect cocktail for life to flourish. As Earth's tumultuous youth gave way to a more stable maturity, the frequency and intensity of these disasters decreased, yet they never ceased completely. The Earth, like a sleeping giant, only needed the right conditions to unleash its power once again. These ancient disasters, these fiery eruptions and monumental earthquakes, have left their mark on our world. You can see it in the jagged peaks of mountains, the deep trenches of the ocean floor and the rich soil of volcanic islands. These ancient disasters have left indelible marks on the Earth's crust, a testament to their power. Fast forward to a time when Earth's surface cooled and life began to emerge. The tranquility of the planet was often interrupted by the tumultuous forces of nature. Among these forces, the power of water and wind hold a distinct position. They have been both creators and destroyers, shaping and reshaping our world in ways that are both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Imagine, if you will, the early civilizations. They settled near rivers for the benefits of fertile soil and fresh water. But these rivers, the cradles of civilization, were also the harbingers of destruction. The waters that nourished crops and quenched thirst would sometimes rise in fury, submerging everything in their path. Stories of such catastrophic floods have found their way into the folklore and mythology of various cultures. The Great Flood myth, a narrative common to many civilizations, speaks of a massive deluge that wiped out all life on Earth, save for a chosen few. Fast forward to more recent times, and we encounter another potent force of nature, wind. When harnessed, wind can be a powerful ally, providing energy and enabling travel. But when it runs wild, it transforms into a destructive force. Hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, these are the winds at their most violent. They tear across the Earth, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. They have altered landscapes and claimed countless lives. From the great hurricane of the late 17th century to Hurricane Katrina in 2005, these storms have shown us the limit of human control over nature. Yet, in the face of such destruction, humanity has shown resilience. We have learned to predict these natural disasters, to prepare for them, and to rebuild in their aftermath. The power of water and wind, while terrifying, has also spurred us on to innovation and adaptation. The power of wind and water can be awe-inspiring and terrifying, reshaping landscapes and lives. Their stories are a testament to the indomitable spirit of life on Earth, constantly adapting and evolving in the face of nature's fury. But what happens when the Earth itself becomes the disruptor? Imagine the ground beneath your feet shaking, rattling and rolling, buildings swaying like trees in a storm, the solid Earth suddenly as unstable as the ocean's surface. This is the reality of an earthquake, one of the most powerful and terrifying expressions of our planet's inner turmoil. The Earth's crust is not a single solid shell. It's made up of several giant plates that are constantly moving, albeit at a pace slower than a snail's crawl. But when these plates collide, slip past each other or pull apart, they release energy in the form of seismic waves, creating what we know as earthquakes. One of the most devastating examples is the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. This catastrophic magnitude 7 earthquake, with an epicenter near the town of Léogâne, resulted in extensive damage and loss of life. Over 250,000 people perished, and more than 1 million were left homeless. The world watched in horror as a nation was brought to its knees by the fury of the earth. But our planet's wrath is not just confined to the land. Beneath the surface, hidden from our eyes, are towering mountains and deep valleys. And within these depths, the earth houses its fiery heart, the volcanoes. Perhaps the most infamous of these is Mount Vesuvius. Back in 79 AD, its catastrophic eruption resulted in the complete burial and destruction of Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum. Thousands perished as Vesuvius spewed a deadly cloud of gases and ash 20 kilometers into the sky, which then collapsed onto the cities below. This event stands as a chilling testament to the Earth's potential for sudden, unpredictable violence. These disasters, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions are stark reminders of the volatile nature of our home planet. They demonstrate the raw power that the Earth can unleash, causing unimaginable devastation. They make us realize that while we may try to control our environment, we are ultimately at the mercy of the Earth's dynamic forces. These disasters remind us of the volatile nature of our home planet. It's not just the visible elements that wreak havoc, sometimes the threats are invisible. Enter the world of unseen threats, the silent killers that lurk in the shadows, striking without warning. These are not your typical natural disasters, but they are just as deadly, just as destructive, and just as much a part of the planet's natural cycle. First, let's talk about pandemics. These are global outbreaks of disease, often caused by new strains of viruses or bacteria. They can spread rapidly, sweeping across continents, leaving death and devastation in their wake. The infamous Spanish flu of 1918, the more recent HIV/AIDS pandemic, and the ongoing COVID-19 crisis are stark reminders of the destructive power of pandemics. They don't just kill millions, they disrupt societies, economies, and ways of life. Then, there's climate change, a slow-moving disaster of epic proportions. It's not one single event but a gradual shift in weather patterns, sea levels, and global temperatures. It might not sound as immediately threatening as a volcanic eruption or a hurricane, but make no mistake, climate change is a ticking time bomb. It threatens to submerge coastal cities, turn fertile land into deserts, and trigger extreme weather events. Its effects are already being felt, from the melting ice caps of the Arctic to the burning forests of Australia. And these unseen threats are not isolated incidents. They are interconnected, part of the complex web of life on Earth. Climate change can exacerbate pandemics by forcing people into closer contact with disease-carrying animals. Meanwhile, pandemics can distract from the urgent need for climate action. But there's a silver lining. Unlike many natural disasters, these unseen threats are largely human-made, which means we can also mitigate them. It requires global cooperation, scientific innovation, and a commitment to sustainable living. These unseen threats pose a unique challenge, requiring global efforts to mitigate. Through collective action, we can turn the tide, ensuring a safer, healthier planet for future generations. Scene script. Let's now turn our attention to the most destructive natural disasters in human history. From the depths of the ocean to the heart of our cities, nature's fury has left indelible marks on our planet and our collective memory. The day after Christmas in 2004, a gargantuan wave, triggered by an undersea earthquake off the coast of Sumatra, wreaked havoc across 14 countries. The Indian Ocean tsunami claimed more than 250,000 lives, making it one of the deadliest disasters in recorded history. Fast forward 6 years to January 2010. The earth trembled in Haiti, unleashing an earthquake of a magnitude 7.0. In less than a minute, the capital city, Port-au-Prince, was reduced to rubble. An estimated 230,000 people perished, and millions were displaced, underlining the devastating potential of seismic activity. But perhaps the most insidious disaster of all is the one we're living through right now: the ongoing impact of climate change. Rising temperatures, melting ice caps, and extreme weather patterns are not just isolated events. They are interconnected phenomena that are reshaping our world and threatening our existence. These disasters not only reshaped our world but also underscored our vulnerability to Mother Nature's unpredictable power. From the towering tsunami waves to the shaking Earth and our warming planet, we're reminded that we are, ultimately, at the mercy of the natural world.